Okay, question and answer. Let's see. First question. I'm trying to play a novelty piano solo, Slipova, by Bargy from the early 1920s on the xylophone. How would you deal with all these double stops? Would you play with 4 mallets? Would you omit them? Would you, I don't know, what are our options? We can play the tune slowly, and then everything becomes possible. But the novelty piano music, novelty music in general, has to have pep, zip. These things were taken from piano rolls, I believe. Pianists were hearing people punching extra notes in piano rolls and trying to play them, like taking electronic music and playing it acoustically. That's what people do today. It's the same thing. They're taking like something that someone programmed, not a human, to play, and a human's now trying to do that. It's challenging. On top of it, they got interesting sort of stride left hand happening, and the harmonic support there. So you lose that when you're doing it on xylophone, unless you're a freak of nature that we're yet to see. So we have to be careful about the melody notes and the harmony notes, and getting across the idea of the piece. These novelty piano music generally has terrible melodies. I said that. That's true. They're like little, sound like junk food. Something very enjoyable. There's something wonderful about it, but it's not the melody. Here we go. So the first notes we can't even fit on the xylophone. What do? We take it down an octave. Oh boy. And then already we have some problem in the third measure. Major 7th harmony. Works because the moving line in the left hand supports that, but now we've lost that. Unless you're going to have a piano player play just the left hand, and then the piano player will say, unless they just have a left hand, why don't I just also play the melody? And then you lost your gig. So maybe guitar or some other harmonizing instrument can play the chords. And you can ask yourself, are you going to change the harmony there? That's a 6 sounds much nicer. But the reason why that 7th is there is because the passing diminished or something happened. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of minor or diminished things happen, moving it chromatically in the left hand. Okay, so first thing on that introduction, I would stick with 2 mallets, play it quickly. I don't know if I already said that. And you don't need that last beat or the last note. If we drop that, you can really fly on this. Now, what's really happening, as an introduction, we're just elaborating on probably getting to a dominant chord, and then we'll start on 1. Blah, 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 blah. And then, sorry. Okay, something like that. That's not like that, but so even this, the melody is probably or yeah, that's what's happening. Oh, sorry. You could write a xylophone figure. I'm actually right now going through a bunch of like Jelly Roll Morton figures and seeing that would be that. So you could do or, and all these things are going to be more suited for the xylophone than trying to play exactly what makes sense. Because here you have this harmony, which are played by the thumb and the pinky probably, or fourth finger. I don't know. If you play piano, you can figure that out. But it makes sense to just take some other xylophone figure. Think about a band playing, and saxophone has a melody, and now a xylophone can mess around with that. If you want to play like a saxophone, play a single line. If you're playing xylophone and embellishing that single line, you have freedom to not have the clearest, longest melody, but shorter notes. Does that make sense? Now, okay, let's slow. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so A flat. So that's what I mean by this isn't a great melody. This is just A flat 6. And then some elaboration. This, you could do it. I don't think. Check that music that's been shared. For example, Sammy Herman's transcriptions, or arrangements of Kitten on the Keys, for example. You get that. You get problems like this and that, and seeing how Sammy Herman simplified them. But that might be just the sheet music. I don't think Sammy Herman would have played what's on the sheet music that he sold. But you can. Anyway, I think a lot of the sheet music, not on the piano parts for xylophonists, but xylophone parts for xylophonists, are simplified so that most people can play them. Anyway, here we go. Now, this is starting at, we'll call it A, the third measure. So what's the harmony? 5. The neighboring diminish of that. So we have, sorry. Oh man, how to explain this? These notes. What are the notes? What is that? We're in the key of A flat, so that's 2 minor, B flat minor, and the neighboring diminished of that, A diminished, back to B flat minor, E flat 7, dominant of A flat. So, and the melody is junk. Sorry, I mean it's what it is. Yeah, that minor 7th again. Is the diminished and a passing. So let's look at that now as if we're just outlining the harmony. I like that. So I'd keep that, and maybe not, but so with this you got to be able to jump around a lot. What was the melody? If you practice your scales, right? Hey. flat G, or major. And then the third on top. Yeah, if you want to do that, or more suited for xylophone, do a third with a triplet. So that would be. See what I mean? The melody is just this descending scale. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, I gotta say something useful, not just ramble around here. But I'm thinking out loud of how to arrange this. This third measure again. So together, right, left, forget the harmony of the third partial of the triplet. So instead of, I'm going. I don't like that. Yeah, maybe change the melody altogether. Now we're going to arrange it. Or, yeah, no harmony at all. See how that is. How about that? So, these are just, that's right out of the green exercises. Okay, going on. You can play those. Oh, sorry. You could play it. I think Sammy Herman would go. And here's a chance where you can add. So if we're simplifying, we can now, I don't know what the opposite of simplifying is, but or instead of, so and how about that? Silly idea. I'm just thinking out loud though, because those are our two options. We can take away or we can add. Most people don't add when they're already dealing with something that's challenging. But you figure out what works on the xylophone. If arpeggios are your thing, you practice your green arpeggios, and you see an A-flat arpeggio, you can go. I would keep it. The triplet thing is important in this music, so. And then a diminished. Okay, a few ideas, ramblings. I hope that's helpful. I wouldn't try to play all the notes with four mallets, just so it won't sound good, because a lot of the right hand needs the left hand to make sense. It'll sound like something. Question number 2, very quickly. Actually, no, well, maybe question number 2 can be separate. Thank you.